and welcome to Near Dark Podcast, episode 69.
Funny
today-
number.
Should have covered like a porn parody or something this episode. Like
Missed opportunity.
like,
Big missed opportunity.
like the Texas asshole massacre or something.
Granny's Gone Wild 69.
Oh no. Does that exist?
It wouldn't surprise me.
I
neither.
hope it doesn't.
Everything exists.
Yep, on the internet everything exists.
By the rules of the internet, it exists.
I'm tempted to Google it now.
But
Please don't
yeah,
share.
Screen shares everything.
before we get off on a tangent, today we are gonna talk about A Tale of Two Sisters from 2003.
2003.
2003.
2000.
Bullying him so hard that he can't read or speak.
I get worse every time you mention it. 2003.
There we go.
There we go.
You want a cookie?
My
somebody?
goodness. Yes, please. And before we continue, let's introduce this lovely cast whose voices you've already heard. We
So many
have
times.
with us Angel,
Suck dick.
Josef,
Hello.
Ogge,
Hello.
and yours truly, Zombie, who is the host of today's episode. But before we jump into anything, how is everybody doing?
Tired. Got home from work.
Fair.
Yeah.
I'm doing pretty good. Got vacation at the moment, so
Pretty gay.
it's very good.
What?
I'm just fucking pissed. My dog tried to bite my face and now my whole day is ruined. But I got chocolate,
Yeah.
so that it's getting better.
Yeah, I can see how that could ruin the whole day.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she's 6 months and a fucking brat, so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And me, myself, am doing good. A
No,
bit tired, but yeah.
and no one asks.
I was just about to say that.
They're like, fuck him, no one cares.
No one cares about this lonely host. Christ and lonely.
This rotting host. Oh man.
Yeah. Have any of you seen anything recently?
I've seen a shit ton of movies, so I can go last if someone else has other movies.
I can go first and say none.
Surprise!
no. I don't think anyone is surprised.
As usual.
Yeah. But yeah, I can go first. Them by among us who has actually watched anything. Right after we did was it the As Above So Below episode?
Yep.
I don't fucking remember.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I rewatched Dario Argento's Suspiria from 1977. And that's pretty much what I think about that movie.
Understandable.
It's Suspiria is regarded as one of the best horror movies ever made. I personally think it's the first 10 minutes is pretty good. The first two murders in the film is really graphic and nice. But after that, the entire fucking movie just goes down into the shitter. I can see why people like it, sort of.
Is it because they have bad taste in movies?
Yeah, I would say so, but there are some elements to the film that I like, but the biggest problem is that they are in Suspiria. I've seen this movie 3 times now, and yeah, I think it's a bad movie overall. I prefer my Italian movies more like the Fulci type of way. I think Dario Argento is a pretty overrated director, to be honest. I guess none of you have seen Suspiria.
You.
No.
Well, it's
I
about.
think I've seen it.
You've seen it. What do you think
Yeah.
about Suspiria?
I thought it was alright.
Mm.
Don't have a lot to say about it.
The,
It was a long time since I watched it. I don't
yeah.
remember a lot.
Yeah.
It's one of those titles I've seen. Like I've seen it. I've seen it a lot, and eventually I went and watched it.
Mm.
But yeah, it's kind of it's a pretty well-known movie, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's very highly regarded amongst horror movie fans.
Yeah.
But the story is basically about this. I think she's American who starts at this German ballet dance school, which might or might not be operated by a coven of witches. And
As they are.
yeah, come again.
As they are.
Yeah, exactly. I honestly don't really know why I don't like the movie. It's just something that the movie rubs me the wrong way in some way. One thing that I picked up on this time around was that, you know, during in the slasher movies, during chase scenes, you get these tunes or soundtrack bites that it's there to pump you up because of the chase. There are scenes with that type of music in Suspiria as well, but the music stops mid-scene for no apparent reason whatsoever. And
Their budget couldn't cover the whole chase scene.
yeah. And I've seen people talking about that, like, yeah, well, it makes the movie more creepy, and the movie is so beautiful with all the colors and blah blah blah. I mean, get the fuck out of here. I don't give a shit how the movie looks. If the movie doesn't have an interesting story, I'm not into it. Period.
Do you think you would have liked it more if the music were properly implemented?
Maybe. But some of the kills in the film are so fucking stupid that, sure, it's an 70s Italian giallo-esque supernatural quote-unquote slasher or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But still, there are way better Italian movies out there, in my opinion. With that being said, I also watched the remake of Suspiria from 2018. And oh my fucking god, what a load, a train load of shit. Fuck me sideways. It's, I think it was about 2.5 hours long. And sure, I don't like Suspiria, the original, but at least they had the decency to just have the ballet and the dance things in the background. It's just a backdrop to everything that happens in the film. The fucking remake implements about 40 minutes of just dancing, and I use the word dancing very loosely here, because they're just twitching around, and it's so fucking pretentious, slow, boring, and it's yeah, it was a fucking slog to get through. It's hands down one of the worst movies I've seen for the past 10 years. What a
It
load.
makes the original look good.
Yeah, it makes the original look like a goddamn fucking masterpiece in my eyes, and I don't like the original. The only good thing with the remake was a line. You know who Chloe Moretz is? She played what the fuck? What was the character's name? Something girl in Kick-Ass.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, she played Carrie in the 2013 remake.
Yeah,
Carrie
she's a
as
pretty
well.
good actress.
Yeah, I really like her
Yeah,
as
her.
an actress.
Mm.
I think she's really good.
Mm.
She's in the remake, but she's in like 2 scenes in the entire fucking film. She's in the beginning and towards the end.
Mm.
But she got
Love it.
one of the funniest lines in the entire film. I think she says it in German, but I'm just paraphrasing here now. It's something like, "They're gonna eat my cunt from a plate," which made me laugh out loud.
Nice.
That's basically the only thing I liked with the film. It's fucking horrendous. So yeah, don't watch it.
Clearly.
I won't.
Yeah.
The next thing I watched was I would call it a terror type of film. It's called The Sadist from 1963. It got some home invasion and slasher vibes to it, but it's about these 3 teachers who are on their way to a match in Los Angeles, I think it was, and their car breaks down out in the middle of fucking nowhere. So they stopped at a desolate gas station to get some help, and they encounter a psychopath and his girlfriend who starts to terrorize them. I don't have that much to say about this, but it's an okay watch. It's a bit too long, I think. I started to lose my interest about halfway through because there were so many scenes that there wasn't really anything happening in them.
Yes, filler scenes.
Yeah, but about an hour or so in, it starts to pick up, and the ending was pretty suspenseful, actually. Not a bad movie, but have any of you catch that one?
You.
No,
No.
have not.
Okay. And
Ogge, have you seen it? Oh no, he's dead.
Hello?
hello.
Hey.
Hi.
So, I haven't been able to watch any movies lately since I've been pretty busy with work and stuff.
Yeah, well, we were asking if you have seen The Sadist.
No, I haven't.
Did you fall asleep?
No.
You went very
W.
quiet, so yeah, kick W. The next 2 things, and I'm just gonna talk briefly about this. I've seen is The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari from 1920 and Nosferatu from 1922. Both of them are from the silent era of
Yeah.
films.
I think Nosferatu is like the first vampire movie ever. If I'm not wrong.
Yes and
Yeah.
no. There are some short films from the 1910s. I know that there are an adaptation, a short film of Bram Stoker's Dracula. Nosferatu is based on Dracula, but the movie or the director didn't get he couldn't get the rights for the story, so he rewrote parts of the story with new character names and such. But it's the first feature-length vampire film.
Yeah.
I don't have that much to say about them really, and I don't know if I would recommend them unless you're interested in movie history. Because they are interesting in a historical perspective. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've watched. I also saw or rewatched Dead Space Downfall, but I think Angel wants to mention that, so I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
I watched another movie, but I'm gonna talk about it a bit later.
Yeah. Angel, you have the floor.
Alright, I have a shit ton of movies. Hold on. Hold on to your horses. So I watched The Descent. It's a claustrophobic movie where some chicks goes out in the woods to climb caves, which I do not understand why you do. Like, why do you explore caves? That's fucking shit. That's shit dangerous.
Thrill seekers.
Fucking idiots. First time I saw it, fucking terrifying. Third time, pretty boring. And Ryan fell asleep while the movie was going. So that's how exciting that was. Dead Space Downfall. One of our friends, me and Craig's friends, has been streaming all the Dead Space content for, like, I think it took him a week and a half on Twitch. It was great fun. It was great watching movies with him, and the animation of Dead Space Aftermath was terrible, but both movies so enjoyable. Watch them. Yes.
I agree.
Oh, is that the animated one?
Yeah. Both are animated.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, there are two animated Dead Space movies.
Yeah. Then we finally continued with Wrong Turn. Wrong Turn 3. I didn't remember how bloody it was. But man, it's fucking bloody. Storyline is shit though. Witch Hunt. Basically a modern witch movie where racism against witches is a thing.
Oh.
Boring. Don't watch it. You lose interest after like 15 minutes. Censor. I thought this one was very similar to Evil Ed, but less comical and more kind of like a drug trip. It's hard to understand what's going on in most of the movie.
Is it an art house movie?
I have no idea. Don't think so. Then I watched Kung Fu Panda 3 and 1. Netflix shows them for me. Empire's New Groove, Penny Dreadful. Penny Dreadful is definitely a shit movie. Like, holy fuck, that's shit. Lost interest 10 minutes into the movie, continued watching. I binged through most of Harry Potter. I'm up to Half-Blood Prince. Initiation, slow burn slasher with a Happy Birthday to Me and Countdown vibe. No, not really.
Whoa! Sorry, my brain died for 5 seconds there. But did you say the initiation?
Yes.
Have you watched it?
Yes.
Okay, I got it on Blu-ray, but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, so like slow burn slasher in the style of Happy Birthday to Me and Countdown.
I love Happy Birthday to Me.
You might like this one actually.
Yeah, it's from the early 80s.
Yeah. No, wait. The one I watched wasn't from the early 80s, I don't think. Let's see. No, the one I watched was from last year.
Might be a remake.
Maybe. I don't know.
Then we have to look into it.
And I watched Soul, the Pixar movie.
Yeah.
If you like movies that gives you feels, watch this one. 11 out of 10, very enjoyable, and yes.
Is it Soul?
Yeah,
The
so
one about the music teacher.
yeah, about the music teacher that wants to be a jazz player.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's great.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
We started watching the Pokemon series. We watched the first Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back, and I have, like, now as an adult, I understand the movie better than I did as a kid, and it's great. Rewatched Space Jam, the original. Not as good as I don't remember it. Still pretty good. Wrong Turn 4. Like, how could I think that this was good movies when I was a kid? Like, man, my taste in movies have really changed over the years. Like, it was a time that I loved this movie.
I think Wrong Turn 4 is good up until a certain point. When the teenage characters makes one of the most ludicrous, stupid fucking decisions I've ever seen on film.
Yeah.
And then basically the whole fucking movie just goes down the toilet.
In all,
It's a great movie.
in all honesty, I just think it's too much sex in the movie.
Oh, you wait for part 6.
I've seen all the movies like twice already, or if not even 3 times. Then I watched a new horror flick called A.M.I. In the movie, they pronounce it as Amy, but with an Y rather than an I. So I'm just gonna call the movie Amy. This is also new, like a new movie. It's revolving around an app. This girl loses her mother in a car accident, and she finds this phone that starts talking to her. She customizes it. It starts sounding like her mother. And from there on, it just spirals on. No one here would like it because it's fucking shit. Like, I know I say that a lot about movies, but trust me, don't watch this.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great film. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Yeah.
I watched the new Space Jam, so no one else has to watch it. Noticeable is a cash grab, like, clearly. I did laugh at some points, but it's a poor... it's a poor excuse to make a... like, it's a poor excuse for a cash grab and a poor excuse to try and revive the Space Jam because it, like, went great 25 years ago.
I've heard it's pretty shit.
It is. It's cheap laughs, but that's about it. It's not worth going to the theater for. The last one I watched was Wreck-It Ralph because I didn't have anything better to do, and yeah. So I watched 23 movies in 22 days. I hate my life.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I can understand why.
I mean, it's still not as bad as when I watched 600 movies in 6 months.
Yeah, well,
But
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I had nothing better to do. So yeah, that's all I've been watching. I've been binging like Harry Potter, and I've been trying to look at like new movies that I've never watched before. Just to like do something new with this 100 movies before Christmas list, and so far I'm
Yeah.
I mostly rewatched movies I've seen already.
I do that a lot.
It's like easy stuff to do. Like, oh, I've already watched the movie. I already know what's happening. I don't have to be that invested in the story.
You can like put it on in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall we move on in that case
No.
to the actual movie in question?
No.
We're already almost...
I don't want to talk about
I don't
this
know.
movie.
I don't know how far we're gonna be in the episode, but for us, uncut, we're almost 30 minutes in.
Hey, isn't it always like we have someone has movies to talk about, so we're sitting and stalling for 30 to 45 minutes?
Josef.
And then when we finally get to the movie, we're like, meh, it was okay.
Yeah, for like 5 minutes, and then we leave.
5, hold your horses. We're talking about the movie for 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then we put in an outro track, which is 15 minutes. Just to float out the running time of the episode.
Yeah. Oof. But, yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned, have you seen the... Fuck, what's that show called? No, I forgot the name of
You can just shout out the name
I was
once you realize.
I was gonna mention a show, but I forgot the name of it. Like I always do.
But yeah, let's roll the trailer for A Tale of Two Sisters.
Yeah, the trailer is mostly, it's basically only music. So it's a very
Visual.
Yeah, visual.
trailer.
Visual was the word. So go watch it if you want to see what it is about.
그날 무슨 일이 일어났던 거지?
The sisters Soyeon and Soo-mi, on returning home from a mental health facility, find themselves having to not only deal with their controlling stepmother, but also ghosts from their past. Because I heard some... What's the word?
Moaning.
No.
You heard some bullshit.
Well,
Let's go with that.
wasn't it like someone said the movie is good or something?
More like someone... Oh, because someone was hesitant to speak about the movie. I'm gonna start with Angel.
Suck my dick! I want my 2 hours of life back, alright? This movie is shit! Fuck me is
Oh,
so
God.
bad.
Goodness.
Why did you make me watch this movie? Like,
Because I love you.
I'd rather watch The Bleeder, alright? That's probably more interesting than this piece of garbage. Like, I was sitting here playing Hoonipop 2 while watching it. So I was like splitting my attention. Bad choice. Because, like, I didn't understand anything that was going on, and I hate movies that I cannot get dubbed. I have to watch them subbed, so I have to read everything. The acting was terrible. The father or whatever, or uncle or whatever he looks like a fucking pedophile. The aunt or whatever she is such a toxic bitch. Like
that was the father and the stepmother.
oh, I thought it was
And,
their uncle and aunt.
No.
And like later we'll explain a few things.
Alright.
Yeah, we will spoil the hell out of the film, and there are a couple of big reveals towards the end. So if you haven't seen the movie, go and watch it before you continue listening.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
was really trying to pay attention to the movie, but it was so fucking boring. It's like it doesn't feel like any build up. It feels like you jump in like an hour and a half into an unfinished movie that is like, oh, whatever, and they just put it out. It's trash, and it sucks fucking donkey dick, alright?
Lovely. How would you rate it?
0 out of 10. Don't watch this. It's trash.
Yeah. Did you have anything else you wanted to say about it?
Man, like I didn't understand the plot at all, and like the ending. Like we're getting to the ending when everyone has said their piece, but like, what?
Yeah.
So that's my opinion of the movie. Don't watch it.
Yeah. Ogge, what about you? What did you think of the movie?
This is probably a movie I have to rewatch because it requires a lot of attention.
Yeah.
That's not attention and patience isn't like a forte of mine. So I'm gonna have to rewatch it. It was a bit too much of a slow burn for me. This is actually a movie I've been wanting to see for quite some time. I really like the music. There's some clear. It really reminded me of Silent Hill.
I didn't think
that-
the music really.
It wasn't much of a music really. It was more like some
ambience.
yeah. It was more like ambience, machinery, and the occasional spooky violin stroke and stuff like that. But it added a lot. It added a lot to the atmosphere. I would probably, as of now, I would give it like maybe a 4 because it's a bit too much of a slow burn to be entertaining,
Yeah.
and it really requires a lot of patience and focus to watch.
Yeah.
The story was pretty good though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly thought this would be straight up your alley, Ogge, because of the you know the revelations.
Yeah, like I said, I need to rewatch it. Probably like during the vacation.
Yeah, well, you can come back.
Yeah, because this is usually stuff that I tend to like, with like big revelations and atmospheric stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this might end up being like I might raise in the grade to 7 once I've seen it with the right type of mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joseph.
Me. Okay, let's see here. I remember seeing the video box of this film at the the old video rental store.
Yeah, basically
Well,
our
yeah.
blockbuster.
Yeah. Back in the day, but I never bothered to rent and watch it. And the reason for that was it was what I think at least it was released at the very tail end of the Asian horror wave we got at the beginning of the 2000s. When the second slasher movie boom was dying off and Hollywood started to only pump out remakes for about 10 or so years
Yeah.
of older and foreign horror movies. And at this point I was pretty sick and tired of the Asian style of horror, with the whole, girls with long hair making creepy sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Halo shit.
It worked for a couple of movies, but when basically each and every single fucking Asian horror movie went with that shtick, it started to become a bit tiresome. So yeah, I didn't bother with this one back then, which I think was a mistake on my part now when I finally seen it. I thought that A Tale of Two Sisters was good, and it had some interesting things to it, which I really liked. I'd say that the horror in the film is kind of by the numbers for a movie from this particular era. But at the same time, the movie got a pretty interesting take on survivor's guilt. Which was something I really liked with the film. Even though I kind of guessed where everything was heading about halfway through the film, I think that the revelations towards the end was brilliant. The only problem with the film I personally had was the running time of it. It's like Angel said, it's just shy of 2 hours, and I think they could have shortened it down with at least 10 minutes. For example, the ending drags on, and even though I liked it, I think they could have tightened it up a bit.
Yeah.
Honestly, I could say that they could shorten it down by 15 or even 20 minutes.
Yeah, perhaps. There were some scenes that was necessary for the revelation at the end, but they could have shortened them down a little bit, truncated them with like a couple of seconds here and there.
Yeah.
The ending. On the other hand, it was kind of a thing around this time to have endings in Asian horror movies, at least, that were like 1 billion years long. For some fucking reason. I know that the movie Phone had like, I think the ending is like 30 minutes or something. It just drags on and on and on. So yeah, the ending in this movie kind of fits, I guess. But I think they could shorten it down a little bit. And like Angel said, some scenes could have been cut down a bit as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked it overall, and I think it was a good pick for the show. Even though I think that the horror of it was kind of not scary. We've seen this before in other films.
It's
I would say we've seen this before, and they have done it better.
Yeah.
it's tame in a way, and it's not really the main focus of the movie. It is just there.
Yeah,
It's sort of a backdrop to a story.
Bigger picture.
Yeah, about survivor's guilt.
Yeah, like when I looked up the movie, it says that it's a horror thriller, and I would say it leans way more to thriller than horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a supernatural thriller. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
My rating will be 7.5 out of 10. And I mentioned that I've seen one more movie in the recently seen, and that was the Uninvited from 2009, which is a remake of this film.
Oh.
I'm not gonna go deep into it because we will probably cover it at some point. But what I can say about it is that it's, in its core, it's the same film, but it's more fast paced. It feels more like a horror movie. The drama part of this film is nearly non-existent in that film. It's very American.
Yeah.
I thought the remake was okay, at least for my first watch of it. I might change my mind if I rewatch it later down the line. I don't know, but yeah, I just wanted to squeeze that in here. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my thoughts. What did you think about it, Zombie?
My thought on the movie is I really liked it because of the overall story that it provided. It was just a tad bit cluttery with the length of the ending that made it like a bit unsure of it, but once you got the whole picture, it felt like it was worth a rewatch to see the movie from other eyes, or rather a different perspective. And yeah, the horror wasn't necessarily there as much as it was a thriller, but yeah, it definitely was a solid movie in my opinion. Not the best movie that I've ever seen, but definitely story-wise good. I'm not sure if I have lost internet again or not.
No, we can
No,
hear
no,
you.
no,
It just
no.
sounds like you're having a minor stroke while talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like I was having a mind stroke because I was unsure of the internet.
No,
Going.
you're still
Because it's-
you're still with us. You're still with us.
Yeah, because it just shadow cuts off without telling me like for 20 seconds.
Yeah,
But,
no,
yeah.
we're listening to what you're saying about the film.
I like the twist that it brought on. I did I did kinda expect something of it to happen because of the what we've seen before with there being a pair of two, but I did not expect the extent of the twist, how it went.
Yeah, that okay. So we're gonna spoil it now. The twist is
Yeah.
that one of the sisters are dead before the movie even
Yeah.
starts.
And the extent of the twist is that the sister is necessarily not only the only person that is like non-existent in the story, in a way, because of how she's just a figment of the other sister's imagination. It is also the stepmother that is also
Or is she?
Mm-hmm.
well,
Because at
The
the
one in-
the ending, she comes back. The dead sister kills the stepmother.
yeah, I would say the majority of the movie she is a figment of the sisters of the imagination. I will admit that I did look up a bit of an explanation to the movie to get the full picture,
Mm?
Understandable.
and the way I understand the movie is that the sister died, and then you had this nurse doctor in the house that you could either was the stepmother or the father had an affair with, and she was there for the mother's health. And then, because of the survivor's guilt the sister felt after Sumi's death, Yon felt so guilty that she was not there for her sister that she made up the sister and the mother in the house in order to be able to be there for the sisters. And so she created a villain, aka the stepmother, because she was a person she already did not like. And she made her an abusive asshole that abused Sumin despite never having actually done so. And so
Yeah.
she could have moments where she could save her sister and get rid of that guilt of not ever having been able to do so when she was alive. And so that's why she has these moments where, like, she always does this, and this is a thing she has done before. It's a sense of therapy.
Yeah.
Which is why she has so many clothes in her closet in the beginning, why the book is already there, in order to show that she has done this charade before. She has tried to do this mental hallucinations before, and it has not worked, which is why it becomes gradually worse, in which it becomes to the end climax with the sack, in that she puts her sister in a life or death situation where she can save her sister, and that not working, she basically, in her hallucinations, plays all three characters. And that's also why the dinner scene was so awkward,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
she was the stepmother talking about her quote-unquote brother and their history, despite the stepmother's brothers just seeing her acting like they know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also do think that there is some supernatural elements to it, with the sister's ghost being there and the mother's ghost being there. In, like, again, the dinner scene where I think they explained it as the sister's ghost possessing the uncle's wife, and you can see that by the way she is acting while possessed, as if she is being crushed under a cabinet.
Oh,
The way she's
okay.
gasping for a breath and clawing with her hands, and that's why they're focusing on it.
Yeah, I was actually about to ask about that, if anyone had any theory what the hell that was about, because I was just scratching my head.
Yeah, I did too, which is why I did look it up, like, what are these, like, supernatural elements then, if this was all in her head. But yeah, I really appreciated the movie after the twist, and it really is interesting, the moment that you didn't get before, and how much they make sense in being awkward and unexplainable. So yeah.
Or we can just explain that it's a piece of shit movie.
I can't help you there, fam. But yeah, I will give this a 6 out of 10. A bit long and could have been shortened down in a few places.
So, you talked about, like, people being hesitant to talk about this movie. Now, this might be my autistic fucking ass not understanding why. Because to me, a movie I would rather not talk about, if we're gonna compare it, is basically a Serbian film. Because that is way more intense than this is. This is just some broad being sad that she couldn't save her sister because she was a stupid cunt walking out of the house, rather than staying with her sister, which can happen anyone. Like, bitch, get over it. Stop you biting. Like, stop being a bipolar piece of shit.
It's about survivor's guilt.
And
Bitch, get over it. Wow.
I think it's the fact that she got warned by a person she really despised
yeah.
that really put her over the edge in a way
Yeah.
and put her mental health bad. And also the fact that she not only lost her sister but also her mother in the same like
Oh, let's talk about her mother
The same
too.
place.
By the way, was she tied up or something in that cabinet?
She hung herself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because as I saw, like, what my eyes saw, was that her hands was tied up like like someone was trying to hide a body. Not that she hung herself.
Yeah.
How the fuck did she hang herself in the cabinet?
Yeah. I think she just sat down really low in a position where you would show.
Well, then again, like,
Um,
okay, if that's the case, wasn't she is like doing that Batman thing where you have a Batman costume and you choke yourself a little bit while you jack off?
I
What?
think so.
Asphyxiation while masturbating is supposed to make the orgasm like 100 times better. Don't ask me how I know this shit, I just know a lot of weird facts.
Okay, on that bombshell, where do we go from there? Okay, I think we lost Zombie.
Oh man, but yeah, it's like I had so many weird questions about this fucking movie, so it's just
So how's your day been, Ogge?
It's been good.
Working hard?
Yeah.
I mean, working hard or
It's
hardly
been-
working.
Hardly working, I guess.
Yes.
Hardly working.
Are you back,
Yeah.
Zombie?
I am back.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I think we lost you for like 10 seconds there.
Yeah, I felt that because it became dead quiet again.
Yeah, same here.
I
so-
fear dead quiet now.
So.
But yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so that
yeah.
makes more sense then because I was like, who killed the mom? For a second, like, what?
Yeah.
But I stick by get over it, bitch. Stop being a bipolar fucking cunt and get on with your life. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. But I also, on another note, do agree with Augie that the music was nice and really fitting. You didn't really pay really much attention to it, but it was there enough to like put a certain mood or a certain atmosphere to the scenes that it was present in.
Yeah,
It
it's
was really nice.
pretty subtle,
Yeah.
which I actually prefer in horror rather than when you play that scary ass music super loud.
Yeah.
I think-
Now it's very, very scary music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like subtle music makes it so much better and you can really get into what's going on. And then when something like BAM happens, you get more scared than spooky, scary, split. Yeah.
I feel like that's. It may just be me, but I feel like that is very like Asian in its nature to have very subtle music in its horror
Oh yeah, definitely.
that just put the ambience and the atmosphere around
Yeah,
it.
they're very much more subtle than America when it comes to horror movies.
Yeah.
Asia is pretty much psychological horror with ghosts.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
basically Asian horror.
But yeah, does anyone else have anything they would like to mention about the movie? Any particular scenes or characters? Great.
So yeah, spooky, scary skeletons. Blah 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 blah.
Be hiding in your.
Yeah, no, it just came to my mind. I have nothing more to say. However, I did actually have this on a what to watch list, like eventually watching, so at least that's something.
I think a lot of us did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think all of us had.
It's actually been on my watch list for so long. I thought I've seen it.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, do we have any background on the movie?
Yeah, we have. I couldn't find that much about it really, but hey ho.
Yep.
The budget for the film was approximately $3.7 million. An American box office for the film ended up at around $1 million. I couldn't find any numbers for the Korean box office though. So
Wait, so it's essentially boomed,
no.
or did it get a profit?
My next background thing says that the film was when the film was originally released, it became the highest-grossing Korean horror film of all time,
Oh damn.
and it was also the first one to be screened in American theaters.
Ooh.
So, like I said, I couldn't find the box office numbers for Korea, South Korea. So I guess the movie was kind of a hit over there.
Probably. I mean,
Yeah.
like, they have a completely different movie culture than we do in Europe
Yeah.
or they do in the US.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, considering it's been on all of our radars, it has, it has to have something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
definitely.
And the movie was inspired by a famous Korean folk tale called, and I'm gonna butcher this, Yangwa Hungryonyeon.
Wow, amazing!
Discord picked up like half of that.
Yeah.
Picked it up half of that, okay.
Yeah, you cut out a lot.
Fuck me.
Nah,
But yeah, it's not. It's yeah.
Anyway, which also has been adapted to film several times. This one specifically is not a remake of any of them, and it is its own original project. Besides this film, the folk tale was also adapted in 1924, 1936, 1956, 1962, and 1972, as well as the 2009 American remake, The Uninvited. The 2014 Austrian horror movie Goodnight Mommy's plot is also extremely similar, since it was inspired by this film. And the last thing I got is, in the original Korean folktale, the sisters' names are Yangwa and Hungryong. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Which means rose flower and red lotus.
Yay.
Which is the original South Korean title for this film as well. Yangwa Hungryong. And in the film they are Subi and Sugyeon, though the names are still holding the meaning, the same meaning as the names from the folktale. So, but yeah, that's everything I got for this one. It was hard to pick up anything about this film.
Yeah. It's well known, but not that well known, apparently.
Apparently.
I mean, if
Well,
we were from Korea, we would most likely find more information
Yeah.
about the movie.
Yeah, most likely.
It's like, yeah, it's on our radar, but the most about it, like the whole, like, it's not even dubbed, it's subbed. So I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I got a question for you guys, by the way. I've been thinking about doing this for a couple of episodes, but I've forgotten it each fucking time we've recorded.
Yeah.
What makes a really good horror film for you guys? Take a minute and just think about it.
That's a good question.
I'd start off by saying lots of tension.
Oh yeah.
Like, you're at the edge of the seat kind of tension, and you get stressed. You know, like, Don't Breathe is a great example of that.
Yeah.
And Wreck.
Maniac remake.
That movie doesn't have a lot of tension, it's more like atmosphere.
No, also, I was asking you if you consider that as an intense film.
No, not in that way, actually.
Okay.
I think it's more about... Maniac is more about, like, the atmosphere and making you feel like you're watching real killings. Basically, it makes you feel like shit. In an entertaining way.
I would say psychological horror is definitely the superior one in that state. In that statement, I was also gonna bring up Don't Breathe as my example movie, because it's so intense and you sure you don't really feel a lot for the characters besides the girl, because of her living conditions, and you're on the seat, edge of the seat, just what's gonna happen next? Is he gonna get them? Is he not? It doesn't have to be a shit ton of blood and murder and a pile of bodies at the end of the movie. As long as you're able to be invested in the movie, it has you there. I want to know what's coming next. I want to know, is he gonna get them? Are they gonna get away? Things like that. Yeah, foremost for me, psychological stuff. But also it has to be attention grabbing, because I may have a small case of ADHD or something, because I can't really focus on movies. Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts?
I think good kills in that they don't need to be extremely bloody, but they are attention grabbing in that they're not necessarily basic, and if they are done well, and they are maybe sometimes unexpected. They look good. They look, I don't know how to say it, appealing in a way, in that they're not gross, but they are just, you're a man of fine arts, aren't you? When it comes to the knife. But I also think there are good points made in both Angel's and Ogge's case that psychological and the tension is very important in a good horror movie, and both the tension and the atmosphere, you're at the edge of your seat not knowing, and either not knowing what is going to happen, or that even if you do know what's going to happen, the atmosphere and the tension has put you in such a mood that you don't necessarily care about it, because it has such a atmosphere about it that, I'm gonna say that word a lot, that puts the situation in the center of what's happening. I don't know how to explain it, but
no, I think you're explaining it pretty well, actually.
Yeah, I think I understand what you're trying to say.
If I
I'd like to add. I'd like to add that like tension does not always only have to be psychological. Like it could be like a chase scene where a good example of non-psychological tension is, for example, Don't Breathe, because they're always just about to escape, but then something happens. Now they're just about to die, or something like that.
yeah.
With
Yeah.
psychological is more about, it's very subtle, and like you feel like there's nothing in the movie that actually is threatening the characters, but you feel that something's wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if I can add another one that I really, like, if I'm gonna say hands down really enjoy, it's like The Thing. Because when you watch it, like, you have never watched it before, and you don't know
Yeah.
who is the Thing, like, you don't know the tells of who the Thing is. And you just sit there like, oh, maybe it's A, B, or C, or maybe it's that guy over there in the background, like, or maybe it's none of them. Like
Yeah.
that's a good movie for me. Like, you don't really know.
The Thing is one of the best horror movies ever made.
Yeah, like,
That's a very good
It
example.
balances gore with tension
yeah.
and really good and a really good cast
Like,
as well.
it doesn't rely on so heavily on, like, gore and kills. It relies on, like, the tension of where is it, are they gonna survive, how are they gonna do it, because they're in the middle of nowhere, no one can get to them, essentially. The only way to get there and home is with a shopper that comes like once a month, if even that. It's like sure, I definitely specified that I like a lot of gore and like blood and shit, but hands down, that's a marvelous example of what a good horror movie is.
Yeah.
I would
another,
also
yeah.
I would also say a movie that doesn't rely on jump scares to be scary is a good horror movie, because it is very played out and it is very just momentarily. They can be there and be effective, but there are certain ways that you do it that makes it effective.
I mean, if you are like a horror buff, like me or Joseph, for example, because I know he watches a shit ton of horror movies. He watches more than me. I don't know about Ogge, but like, you learn to see like, oh, in 5 minutes there's gonna be a jump scare. It's not reliable for if you want to reach like old horror movie watchers, like those that have been in the game for 10-15 years. But for someone that just started, like my boyfriend that basically started watching horror movies last year, he still gets caught by it. And I'm like, jump scare.
Yeah.
It's not reliable in the length. And
And no, you can finish.
it feels most often like that's why critics just like they shit on movies because jump scares.
Yeah.
Jump scares are a cheap way to get a thrill. For me
Yeah.
personally, I don't have anything against jump scares. The jump scares is what gets me when I'm watching horror movies. If they're executed properly.
Yeah.
Another good.
I think it's-
yeah.
I think it's a thing of using them too heavily to get the scares out. And as earlier mentioned, I have nothing against them. It's just that when you like half the scary things in the movie are like the jump scenes, it feels very cheap. But yeah,
Yeah, but
it can be.
But on the other hand, you have people who enjoys jump scares, and then you got people who
Yeah.
just think everything is shit just because it's a jump scare movie. A jump scare movie it's supposed to be a popcorn type of horror movie. You sit down, you're in for the ride, and when it's over, you forget the movie 5 minutes later. That's what they are for. But yeah, I can agree with the Thing. The Thing is a masterpiece. There aren't many movies that has come even close to it.
Yeah.
Another good example of a movie that takes place in one setting and it's isolated, the characters can't get help even if they wanted to, is Alien.
Yeah.
I mean, that movie, I think it's just over an hour into the movie before you even get a glimpse of the xenomorph.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, and it just builds tension and atmosphere throughout the first hour, and you get to know the characters and everything. And then when the horror kicks in, it kicks in hard. And they use the old trick that you don't show the monster too much as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was an interesting discussion.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Speaking of jump scares, I think the best jump scare of all time has to be Rec 1 near the end.
Yeah.
I
Definitely.
mean, I would say
Yeah,
it's
in the
good,
attic.
but it's definitely one of the best ones.
I would also say that sound plays a good chunk into a good horror movie, because the sound can sometimes make it or break
Oh, yeah,
it,
definitely.
Yeah.
as we
Yeah.
earlier discussed in Watch the Movies, and it can really put the tension into a scene or simply enhance
I mean,
what's already there.
take for example, like Ogge said, Silent Hill. Let's say take Silent
Yeah.
Hill and remove the sound, like remove the music. It wouldn't be as good. But when you add the
Yeah.
music, the ambiance is making the movie creepier and better.
Another good example is Halloween.
Oh yeah.
John Carpenter showed the movie to I think it was the producers of the film without the score, and they were like, "This is not scary. This is dull. This is boring." And then he put on the score and he showed the movie again to them, and they, well, basically shat their pants. So the music is very important to the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Then you got a movie like Dead Silence, where they use the sound with when something is about to happen, it just becomes quiet.
Yeah,
You don't hear anything at all.
that is also a great way to make the
Yeah.
movie scarier.
Yeah, I wish that they would have used that technique a bit more in horror movies today. Because when it just gets quiet, you don't hear anything.
You can like cut the tension with a knife.
Yeah, you hear your own heartbeat basically. That's fucking scary.
choosing just the right moment to have music in the background to hide the atmosphere, and then choosing the moments where it's gonna be dead quiet, making like, because you're so used to having music in the background, it really becomes eerie when it's gone, because that's when you know someone's gonna happen, and you expect it to happen, and so you're sitting at the edge of your
I mean,
seat.
sometimes
Wait.
when they do that they remove the sound, it's basically like, sometimes in some movies when they remove the sound, instead of play some kind of music, they can actually ruin the movie though. It's really about picking and choosing the right moment in the right movie, rather than
Definitely.
just like, oh, this we're gonna cut the music like here and here and here and here, and it's gonna make a masterpiece, when it's like, wait, the fuck did they cut it here?
It's really a fine art.
It is really, yeah.
Yeah.
But we have derailed fast.
I don't know.
No,
But it was a nice
it's
discussion.
just a new talking point. But
Yeah.
yeah, like
I feel like this would be a very good like minisode.
Or
Yeah.
the 100th episode special.
Yeah.
5 hours of us talking shit.
I mean,
Well, we could always go more into depth than we already have in such an episode.
yeah.
Yeah.
That would be really nice to do.
But yeah, it was an interesting discussion. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
No.
Thank you for
Thank
the
you.
question. But yeah, shall we speak of the next pick and the
I
outro
believe
music?
that's Joseph.
Yes, it is.
Indeed it is.
First off, I haven't chosen this outro track. It was actually Zombie. Thank you for the help. Because I was really
You're
stumped
welcome.
on what we were gonna play out with. But we're playing out with the Rasmus Guilty. And the next episode we will cover the latest movie we covered so far. It was released in February, I believe. And it is Willy's Wonderland.
Fuck
Willis.
you.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, now I'm not sure if the really was to the fuck you or to the movie.
Do you know what movie
Oh.
that is, Ogge?
Oh, now I see.
Yeah.
It's based off Five Nights of Freddy.
Oh.
No, it's inspired by it.
Oh, yeah.
That
So
one.
anyways, in the next
That one,
episode I'll
yeah.
take a vacation. Okay, thanks, bye.
Have you seen the movie?
No, I haven't.
No.
Haven't
With Nicolas Cage. Okay.
I am
Yeah.
so not hyped for this.
We need some cage in here, people. I
No,
tell you.
no,
We need some
no,
cage.
no, no, no.
Yes.
That man
Yes.
is a walking meme. Fuck him.
I love the
I would
tagline,
say-
2020 isn't over yet, kids.
I would say that I'm both excited and also dreading this movie.
It's
gonna be a
I
good
think you will like it at least, Zombie.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
on
pretty
my
sure
side.
he will like it, but
Zombie's my homeboy.
Well-
bitch,
Let's just wait and see until next episode.
back off, bitch. He's been my friend for over 20 years. But now I understand what you meant about Rasmus the Guilty, because I was like, why? But I didn't feel like asking.
Yeah. Like, whatever.
Yeah, like,
We'll go with.
yeah, like that sounds fine. Bye.
Yeah. But let's say goodbye to the good people.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
Oh, goodbye, good folks. Don't forget to press that cool little subscribe button if you liked what you heard.
Goodbye, good people. Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Or
Mom.
This train
week,
wreck.
this month's episode. This year's episode.
Start putting out weekly.
I hope you enjoyed.